This video is on reviewing offer paperwork. So we're just going to go through it from start to finish, all the documents that generally come with a typical offer. The first document is a two-page document. It's called Confirmation of Cooperation and Representation. So basically on this form you're going to see who is representing who, so what agent has who's representing the interest of the buyer and the agent that's representing the interest of the seller and the transaction property that is being purchased and sold. So you're going to come through here and just confirm that everyone has initialed the bottom pages of this offer paperwork, and you will see that they are missing the cooperating and buyer brokerage initial here, so that would have to be sent back to that agent to get that signed. It's complete once all four bubbles have been filled in. On the second page here, important information that you will need for later on is how much the seller is paying to that cooperating brokerage, so the commission. And you'll see here the sentence reads, the listing brokerage will pay the cooperating brokerage the commission as indicated in the MLS information for the property. And then in the line here, it's always just inputted in here what has been negotiated, so 2% of the sale price, which was also listed on the MLS listing. And then you're going to come down here and confirm that both agents have signed, which again, we're just waiting on that cooperating and buyer brokerage to sign here. And then that both parties, buyer and the seller, have signed and dated below, acknowledging that they have received, read, and understand the information that is being put in front of them. Okay, so the next document here is the agreement of purchase and sale. So typically it's about 7 pages, depending on how many schedules are at the bottom. We'll go through. The first page is going to give us a lot of necessary information that we will need later for processing this transaction. You're just going to confirm again that the buyer and seller names have been inputted here. There's a date at the top, as well as it's still the same address that's being purchased. You want to confirm the purchase price, so how much the buyer is going to pay to the seller, so that total here, they both match. So when you read this number, it reflects the numerical value that's been also put here as well. So the deposit, so we will be receiving a check for with this offer, and it'll be in a total of $8,000, and it'll be paid to our brokerage, so Keller Williams Golden Triangle Realty. It's paid to our brokerage because it's the listing brokerage for this transaction, and that will change depending on who is representing the seller on that transaction. It could be a different brokerage from ours. Okay, and then you're just going to confirm again. So completion date is the closing date. So this is when the deal is closed and the buyer now owns the property and the seller is dismissed from ownership rights, I guess, for the property. So December 8th. We'll keep going through here. So second page is just going to show, this is mainly for the lawyers and for both the clients. You just want to confirm that at the bottom here, both parties have initialed. Through the pre-written clauses here at the bottom, again, 2 initials for both people, buyer and seller. And again, okay, and then you just want to confirm that we have the signatures of the buyer and the seller. And the most important here is that somebody has signed the confirmation of acceptance, and it's timed and dated with a signature. And it has been, so that is perfect. And then just acknowledging that they're giving basically the brokerage a copy, not a copy, authorization to send a copy to their respective lawyers. Okay, and then at the bottom here, again, you're going to look for the listing and cooperating brokerage initials. Again, just waiting on that cooperating side to sign their parts, but there would be a signature here. Okay, so the Schedule A, so this is where agents can write in different clauses that can override stuff that's been previously put into the agreement. In a typical offer, there's always going to be this first paragraph here that's basically stating the buyer is going to be paying the seller on closing. I'm going to read through here. So the seller agrees to provide the buyer with a copy of an existing survey within 24 hours. Okay. We're looking for in here is any conditions. So we want to see if there's any paragraph with a date and time or a certain amount of business days Anything that's labeled that has anything that says a first charge mortgage, or having a home inspector come through, there will be separate clauses, but those are conditions before this offer can go firm. Looks like it's the typical paragraphs in here just to protect both parties. We'll keep going through here until I can see if there is any dates. Nope. So the only thing is, so there'll be 2 pre-closing visits, which doesn't apply to any condition on the offer. Okay, so this offer doesn't have any conditions, and you'll see here they've actually included an additional paper here saying conditions in offer and the buyer acknowledgement. So if we read through here, we could see the buyer hereby acknowledges with respect to conditions that they will be waiving the condition in the buyer's offer for the above described property. So the financing, insurance, and home inspection reports. So we can see here that they're waiving all rights to have any of these done on the property, which is going to make this offer firm. So firm means no conditions. It's everybody, both parties just proceed to closing. So we don't have to worry about any kind of home inspection dates or financing for a mortgage dates. There's nothing else tied other than the closing date that both parties will proceed to from here.